Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I am so sorry about that. I did upload it to OneDrive and it completely did not cross my mind to email it to you. But everything is embedded in there. So like my PowerPoint has all the worksheets on there.
Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to ask that you walk me through it.
Mhm.
And so this is my first, I didn't have time to review it. So just walk me through.
Yes, and that is completely my bad. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to put you on mute, but I am listening. I just don't want you to be distracted by this background noise. And if I
Oh,
have
okay.
questions, I'll stop you. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Once you're ready, you can go ahead and get started.
All right, so the basis of the lesson is a review. So it's over the letters and the letter sounds we already have been reviewing, which is the letter D, O, N, I, and C. Um, so in this lesson plan here, we will go over rhyming words, letter sounds. We will also practice listening for that letter sound inside the words. So one of my activity is I will say a word and they will listen for the D sound in the word. And then we also have another activity where we are saying the name of the picture and writing the actual letter that corresponds with the beginning sound in that picture. And we do that for the letter O. And then we'll also start working on S blend. So like sp, and sn. So SP, SN, and ST. So we also started working on those. So we would do a whole group activity where we are looking at a picture on the board. One of the pictures I do have is like a stoplight to indicate stop. And they will have to tell me which S blend it is, which is ST, st, and then we will sound out the rest of the word to create it. And then on top of that, we would go more in depth with not more in depth, but we'll touch more on our sight words and putting them in sentences. So one of my activities is where we are filling in the blank. We have a word bank with three sight words in it and three sentences. And we will read each sentence together and we will figure out which word best corresponds with the sentence to make it sound correct. Um, On top of that, they will have independent practice. Their independent practice will focus on all those letter sounds where they are writing the beginning sound of each picture. And then we will be doing something that is not necessarily that we haven't done before, which is also part of the independent practice. And basically four there's four rows. And in each row, I will ask them to circle the words that I say, and then we will read each of those words aloud to help them um, find the word just by listening to it and not seeing it. I will just tell them to find it. And then we'll also be working on their reading. So we will also be reading a book. Um, and I will be asking like comprehension questions and relating it to their personal lives. A lot of this stuff I will be relating it to their personal lives. And then towards the end, we'll work on adjectives, which is something that we have been working on over the course of last week and starting this week too, where they will just be asked to, we'll read a sentence. Well, we'll watch a video first and then we'll read a sentence and they will be asked to talk with a partner and tell me what is the adjective in the sentence. I've also included an exit ticket, which focuses on all of those letter sounds. It will be so in my lesson plan on the slides, you will see like at the very end there's a 10 frame. And in that 10 frame, I will say I will say the sound. So if I say k, 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 they have to write the letter. So if I say D, they will have to write the letter D. But that's without me telling them. That is something that they're just listening and writing from what we've been learning. And then also on there, I have three boxes and they will be writing CBC words. So if I say the word cat and I will break it down for them as k, at. So they would write each individual sound and then they'll write it on the line next to it. So that way they are able to recognize their sounds and I can see where they are, as in just hearing me say a word and hearing me break down a word and recognize what sounds are in those words.
Okay, I'm sorry to interject. Can you give me access to the PowerPoint because I couldn't open it?
You can't open it?
No, you have to give me access first.
Oh, um,
Do you see a notification there?
yes, I'm sharing it with you right now. I thought it was on everybody could view. I'm sorry. And you should have access to that now. It does have both of my lessons on there, so you'll have to scroll down to not today's, tomorrow's lesson. Because the first lesson you'll see is my today's lesson. Were you able to get it?
Yeah, well, I'm trying. Hold on one second.
No, you're okay. I can try to send it I can try to share it with your
wait a
oh,
minute.
it's already shared with your email, so
Let's see. There we go. Okay, I can see it. Just give me a
okay.
few seconds to go through it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, help me out a bit. What slide number does it start with? There are a lot of slides here.
Oh, it starts at slide 30.
30, okay.
And the first slide will has Tuesday, November 18th.
Excuse me. Okay, let me try to share this real quick. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Okay, where is it? Okay, can you see this? Can you see me sharing?
Yes, I can see it. I can see it now.
Okay, tell me what's going on here?
So this is when we start working with those the like the S blend when I was talking about it earlier, like
Okay.
the st and stop and like sp and spoon. And then that last one is the book reading.
Okay, but why? I guess it's more so my question is regarding the formatting. I can't,
You
is
can't see it? Okay.
is it supposed to be that way? Or is it just a matter of the way it transferred?
It might it might also be my background. Let me see if it changing my background can help
I am
see it better.
learning, I am learning. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I am learning to kind of understand what I read. Okay, so
Mhm.
now I don't know, this may be the way that your mentor teacher in your school or the school district asks you to set up your learning targets. Is it, do you have to put the standard there so that Is that like a
We
protocol
try to
that?
always have the standard on the slide, but I can take it off. We do usually have the standard just hanging up too,
Okay.
but we always try to include the standards in the actual slides too because um we like to have them there. But we do have them like on the board. So if you want me to take them off, I can take them off.
No, no, no. I'm just wondering because every
Oh,
school, every district is different. So it's not a personal preference. I was just
oh,
wondering. Yeah,
yeah.
I was just wondering. Okay. And so I noticed that it says I am learning to, as opposed to what's traditionally used, especially for kindergarten, are the I can statements.
Hmm.
So is that one too that is
Yeah,
prescribed?
that's how usually my mentor teacher does her stuff too. So when we read it together, usually when we read it, they repeat after me and I go, I am, and then
Uh-huh.
they'll be like, I am. So that's how we usually do it. She doesn't use, they don't use the I can
I can
statement.
statements. Okay. Okay.
I've adapted to using the I am.
Okay. So
Hmm.
just be careful. Make sure you go back
Hmm.
before you submit your documents. Just do one last review and proof
Hmm.
just to make sure everything is grammatically correct, particularly
Okay.
with kindergartens, because you are modeling all the time proper language
Hmm.
and grammar use. So just want to make sure that you do that, okay?
Gotcha.
Which okay. So talk to me a little bit about, I know you have several assessments listed.
Yes.
What are your plans on collecting so that you can assess where students are? Like, is there going to be, I see here there's a do now. I think you mentioned an exit ticket as well.
Yes, that's all the way at the bottom.
So is that something is that what you're going to collect and then
So yes, our exit ticket is actually based on one of our actual assessments that we have done in the past, which is they do the exact same thing except for that last part with the boxes, but the first part, they do the exact same thing with their assessments. So basically their assessments, I will go in and have numbers on in the little boxes too, and I'll tell them point to box number one. And in our actual assessments, we tell them to point to box number one and we say a sound and we ask them to write that sound.
okay. Oh, okay. And what's going on here? What happens at the
So
bottom?
that is for the CVC. So
Okay.
that I would say a word and I want them to write the beginning, the middle, and the ending sound and then write it correctly on the line.
Okay. And I know that you said earlier, as you were explaining your lesson plan, that you're going to review adjectives, and then are
Hmm.
you going to talk me through that part again. Are you going to have sentences and they are to identify the adjective, or how
So
are you going to do that portion of the lesson?
we really focus on just one sentence. We've
Oh,
been introducing it and going over it quite a bit, and typically go for one sentence.
okay,
And we will watch the video, but as the video is playing, I usually stop and ask comprehension questions such as, what is the adjective in this sentence? So what is the adjective now? Because in the video, it has the same sentence, but it changes the adjective in that sentence. And then, so when we get to that second part, we would read the sentence out loud, and then I would have them do a turn and talk, and I would ask them to turn and talk with their partner and think about what the adjective could be. And then we'll come back as a whole and we will talk about it and discuss, why it's right or why it is wrong. I can't hear you if you're talking, you're on mute.
okay. I'm going to go back to your lesson plan and just now. Okay, oh, and we may have, forgive me, I've had a lot of conferences and post conferences,
Mhm.
but I believe at one point we did talk about assessments, maybe from a
I remember you leaving a comment, but we haven't actually verbally talked about assessments, I don't believe. I do remember seeing a comment under one of my lesson plans.
okay. Okay, so I'm just going to ask a few questions about um hold on, let me see again if I can share. Um, okay. Can you see this? Can you see
Yes.
the lesson plan? Okay, great. And again, I apologize for all this background noise if it's
Oh,
difficult to
you're
hear
okay.
me.
I can't even actually I can't even hear it, so you're
Oh, okay.
fine.
Okay, good. I was nervous about that. Okay, so you have a number of formative assessments.
Yes.
Okay, and it's important to assess because you want to make sure that students are with you as you're progressing through the lesson. Okay, so let's just talk all of these that I've highlighted. So we have a large number of whole group assessments. So
Hmm.
what I assume is that you're going to ask questions or you may present a prompt and then you're looking for a choral response.
Yes.
Okay. So when you have a choral response, meaning that everyone is answering or you signal for everyone to answer at the same time, how is it possible to assess every student, especially at a percentage of accuracy? Like, for example, you said we will quickly, oh, I guess it's
Quickly go over the letter O.
okay. Okay. So what does that look like? Quickly go over the letter O
So,
and how would
um, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, how's that assessed? Okay, tell me what you're going to do. Describe to me what quickly go over the letter O means.
So in the PowerPoint, there is a slide and it has the letter O and it
Okay.
has a, I believe, the octopus on it. And it
Okay.
has octopus. So what I would first do is I would go to the slide and I will go, what is this letter? I would visually watch students say it too. So if I feel like if I see a student not saying it, I would just be like, say it again, or I say it, or be like, I didn't hear you, or I will be like, hey, like I didn't hear you, or something like that. But usually I do get pretty decent core responses. I believe all my students are pretty good about saying and being together with that. If there is a student that I feel that does not know, I will not single them out, but I would just be like, what is this sound? And if they don't know, and I'm like, would you want help? And if they say yes, I would help them as just, it's just a quick redirection. And then we will go over so the sound, and then I will also point to like the uppercase and the lowercase, and I would ask like, is this the uppercase letter? And then they'll say yes or no, and I'll say, is this a lowercase letter? And they'll say yes or no.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned that there's a do now at the beginning
Mhm.
of the lesson. And I think I saw that on the slide. Is
Yes.
that a whole group activity or are students doing that individually?
It's a whole group activity. It is based on student choice. So students are able to choose which side of the room they want to go to, that which correlates with the answer that they choose.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so the exit ticket is actually
And that's actually like independent at their tables by
okay,
themselves.
so that is what you're going to collect, and then you will be able to determine mastery. So
Yes.
exit ticket, which of the learning objectives is that assessing?
It is accessing, oh, let me go. It is assessing the first learning objective when it says I am learning to build, blend, and write words with
Oh,
those sounds. Um, mhm. I'm sorry. I'm looking on my Google Slides, so that's why I said the first.
okay, okay.
And then it's also hitting the I am able to identify the short sound in all those letters because I will be saying the sound, the short sound of all those letters and having them write the actual letter down.
Okay. Now, okay, so when are students, so the objective that says, I am learning to read kindergarten books and understand what I read. So when will students practice reading kindergarten books? During
They
the,
will practice reading during this lesson. They'll practice reading kindergarten books after the independent worksheets.
so
And we'll be reading
talk
the
to me
book called
about
You and I.
does everybody have a kindergarten? Doesn't everybody have a book and they're reading?
Yes, everybody will have their actual book we'll pass out. We have like we print it out and we fold them and we will
Okay.
pass them out. And I would instruct students to write their name on their book so we know whose book is who, so they can go back and use it again. And I will have them I will have them point to the title, and I will also be modeling where the title is and pointing to the title also, and then we'll read it together. I will read, but I don't want to like say the words before they can say the words. I want to see if they can read the words first. And if they can't read the words, I'll be like, okay, let's try again. And I'll be like, you, and then that's when I will be the lead, as in, reading.
Okay.
But the whole idea is to kind of see how good are they able to look at those words and read. And during this, I do have maybe one student that I know will probably struggle with the reading.
Okay.
And that's why I also say I will also go back and say those words first and have them repeat after me so she's able to see what word I'm pointing at and see how those words are pronounced.
Okay.
And then also doing this reading, so like the first page it says we can go to the park. At first I'll be like, oh, I will relate it back to them so they're interested, as in like, oh, do you guys like going to the park? And I'll be like, oh, silent hands up if you like going to the park or something like that. Because I have to do silent hands up because they will completely get off track and start talking. And then at the end of the book, I may ask maybe one to two students to just tell me something that happened in the book. And usually I don't ask them to retell me the entire book. I may ask them to just tell me something, just one thing that happened in the book.
Okay.
Just to see if they were, actually reading and understanding what they were reading.
Okay. And so the book that you're referring to, it is slide 54 and 55, right? It's just those two
Yes,
pages.
ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, let's see. Okay, so talk to me, just give me a little bit of context about the students in the class. This is the same class I've seen before, right? Is it a different
Yes,
class?
ma'am. It's the same class.
Okay. And you said there are no needs in that class for
No
accommodation.
accommodations.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think any of a lot of the classes, even if it wasn't this class, a lot of my children do need the extra help, but they're not all, I don't think they have any actual accommodations yet. I think they're still working on fixing that up.
Yeah.
But in my class, I don't have any students that have any actual paper accommodations or anything like that.
Okay, so you said one way I would differentiate, I'm reading here from the lesson plan. One way I will,
The differentiate for the lower learning. So for the lower learning, like the first page on slide 52, where I will have them writing their beginning sound. Actually, I did that today, and the student that more so correlates with it, she actually did really good on her own. I think she needed maybe help with one or two. So I will probably just help her with with the ones that she needs help with, but actually she's becoming a little more independent when it comes to doing those. Because I had them do a similar worksheet today. And then for my higher learners, which is it's about a handful of them that can breeze through that assignment really fast. Um, I would ask them to just think of words. I want them to continue working on those S blends. So I want them to kind of think of words that has an S blend in it, just to incorporate that on top of incorporating those letter sounds we've been learning. Since S blends are fairly new in our classroom, I wanted to kind of stay on their brain.
okay, 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 I understand that. Okay, and then you also say, for your higher learners, they will work ahead on the back of the worksheets and be asked to think of more words that are S blended. Okay,
Mhm.
so will you ask them to think ahead and think of more words that may have the S blend? How would they are they writing those words? Are you expecting them to say them to you? How will you know?
It's about the student choice. If they want to say them to me, they can. If they want to write them, I know some of my students, they will rather write the word than say it. Some of my students, they will give it right to me right off the back of their head. Um, it's really about what they choose to do.
Okay.
And if they get to that point, I know I know it's probably maybe one or two students that will probably get done before everybody else, and I will have them go sit. I would not sit with them, but have them go ahead and circle those words that I need them to circle on the back of the worksheet. And if there is still more time and they're still finished before others, I would ask them, I would say something along the lines like, you remember the S blends we've been learning about, like st and sp, and sn. Can you think of words that has those same S blend beginning sounds in them, and can you write them, or you want to tell me them, or either or?
Okay. And you're doing this while you're working with a small group that may be needing extra support, or you
Um,
just, how do you anticipate that looking?
so the small group is if needed, but like I said today, that the students did really well on a similar assignment as opposed to the front of the worksheet, and no small group was needed today. And I think I just needed a little like, oh, you wrote your end the wrong way or something like that, but it was no big thing where they needed to be pulled into a small group to sit with me and do it.
Okay. And you mentioned at the onset that this is a review lesson. So there's
Yeah.
no new content that's being taught.
No, other than the S blend, the review is more so the letter sounds, but the S blend is something new.
Okay. Okay.
But it's gonna be kind of review tomorrow because we went over it today.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. Okay. So is there anything else you think that I should know before I come in tomorrow?
Um, I think the only thing you should be prepared for is just
You're
my
what?
boy, the boys. You should be prepared for them. They can be a bit much at times. They have been doing really good. I've been doing really good with trying to keeping them on task.
Okay.
Today we kind of did backtrack with that. We had to have some students sit with my mentor teacher for a minute off of the carpet. But other than that, I don't think there's anything like surprising or anything that would be surprising to you that you should expect. It's pretty much the same way it was when you came in.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I mean, sometimes we change up lessons. So, like, if I finish the heritage beforehand, I might pull out some cards and have them just say the letter sounds or something like that. Or, so it's just little things that may change. Or if I feel like I'm running out of time, I may skip over a slide that I feel like is unimportant and keep it moving, just anything like that.
Okay. So I see that this is a long lesson. Well, okay, so it says 60 minutes,
Yes.
but the
But the block is a lot longer.
yeah,
But I intentionally make sure I still have pretty much everything, but it is around 60 minutes. I say
okay,
60 minutes because it can definitely go up to that longer time. But I didn't want to put the max 85 because I want to give myself some leeway since I am still working on my timing. Um, but I didn't everything that's needed to be included in a lesson is included in a lesson. Like I said, some things may take longer. Um, some things may not take as long as I thought they would. It's
okay,
really just about estimating how long it would actually take. But still kind of giving myself some type of timing so I'm not going too far over time.
okay.
So as you notice, I do have like timers on my slides.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I can finish it in a timer, sometimes I need an extra 30 seconds or so.
Okay, so this is designed to be 60 minutes, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it starts at 8 o'clock?
You, it starts at 8. It's supposed to start at 8, but bathroom time, sometimes we don't get started until about 8:10 or
Okay.
8:15 sometimes.
Okay. So okay, that makes sense. So, and just as a reminder, you are to record your lesson, okay? So
Okay.
in the event that at the 60-minute mark, you may not be finished with the lesson and I may
Hmm.
have to excuse myself, you continue with the lesson because I can look at the video.
Just keep it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can look at the video and see how it may end if I'm not
Okay.
finished. Okay, so don't be alarmed if I have to scoot out. It's just that
Okay.
I had another appointment, right? I mean, like back to back tomorrow. So, but I am planning to be there for a minimum of an hour. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Just talk to me a little bit. I know you've been practicing. I know you have received great feedback, I'm sure, from your mentor teacher, Ms. Allgood. What kind of things has she shared with you concerning your teaching practice?
So today when she looked over my stuff, she shared what did oh my Lord, it just left my brain. I knew I should have wrote it down. But she did bring up to me the exit ticket. She wanted to make sure that I'm including exit tickets. We have decided together that we're gonna start doing at least exit tickets on that Tuesday. If I don't end up getting to one on Monday. Um, she said to make sure when I am doing my Heggerty's lesson, if the word I'm using, like island, because it says I instead of it, to make sure they understand why it is a long sound. Other than that, it was really just about making sure that and making sure they understand why. And then she wanted to make sure I was gonna ask like higher order thinking questions, which that came more towards when I got to like the sight words. So we went over the sight words today and I had them say the sight words, spell the sight words, and I had someone use it in a sentence. And I did that for every sight word, which is usually how I incorporate my higher order thinking by having them use it in a sentence in some way. Um, and that was really it. Just making sure they understand why it is a long sound and making sure I do my higher order thinking questions. And I said something else. What did I say? I think that was it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I believe that was it. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't nothing like big. Like it wasn't, I was able to pretty much make it through my whole lesson except for when they came back from support. Oh, that is one thing. Support, they're supposed to go to support at 9:10 to 10 o'clock. But
Okay.
like today they came back later than 10, so I wasn't able to finish my lesson.
Okay.
Um, so that could also happen tomorrow. If they come back later than 10, the lesson will not be complete because they have lunch at 10:15.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't have any other questions. I look forward to visiting in the morning. Again, just make sure that you record, and if I have to slip out, just know that I'll pick it up on the recording. I'll
Okay.
probably
So also, I do have a question for you. So do I upload my lesson plan? Do I upload all this into Vera too?
yeah, so once we have completed,
Okay.
Michael, go ahead and you're gonna upload what you sent me basically into
hmm
there where it has supervisor formal evaluation.
hmm
Okay,
Okay.
that's where you're gonna put everything,
And would
include.
I upload the video in there also?
There's another space link for you to upload the video. You should see it labeled.
Okay. Um, I think that was it. I don't believe I had any more other questions about that.
Okay. All right. Well, if something comes up between now and tomorrow, just shoot me a text or email like you always do. You communicate very well. Otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you on tomorrow.
I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I'm sorry again about those lesson plans. I started freaking out. I did not. I'm telling you, I'm so used to uploading it in the OneDrive folder that I didn't even. I'm so sorry again about that.
Okay. So just make sure that you read through things that's sent to you so you can, because sometimes things will change
hmm
and you want to make sure that you stay abreast of all the changes and the expectations. Okay. So
Yes.
this, no, it's a small thing. So you know now going forward. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Have a good rest of your day and I'll see you in the morning.
Me too.
All right. Bye bye.